But that's not the brand new news here. Jennifer Griffin has some more for us live at the Pentagon. And Jen, really over the last hour or two, you found out some really interesting information about what Bo Bergdahl left behind, reportedly.
Well, Jenna, according to members of his unit who have been debriefed by the Army, there was a letter left behind by Bergdahl in which he talked of being disillusioned with the U.S. Army and wanting to renounce his U.S. citizenship. That is the characterization of the letter by those who have seen it. The letter has not been provided to us. The letter is presumably part of the evidence that is part of a classified investigation into his disappearance that the Pentagon says it will not release at this time. The Army has reached out to former members of Bergdahl's unit to question them again as part of what is known as a 15-6 investigation, a sort of commander's grand jury. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff now says he will not rule out investigating Bergdahl for desertion. However, General Martin Dempsey took to Facebook this morning to urge people not to rush to judgment. Quote, in response to those of you interested in my personal judgment about the recovery of Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, the questions about this particular soldier's conduct are separate from our effort to recover any U.S. service member in enemy captivity. This was likely the last best opportunity to free him. As for the circumstances of his capture, when he is able to provide them, we'll learn the facts. Like any American, he is innocent until proven guilty. Our Army's leaders will not look away from misconduct if it occurred. Bergdahl has not yet spoken to his parents, we've learned, Jenna.
And Jennifer, really quick, because we've heard a lot about Bo Bergdahl's past, but this is the first time today that you've been reporting about this letter. Do you believe that we'll get a look at this letter? Does this tie into any of the other reports we've heard about his teammates having to sign non-disclosure agreements after he left his base? I mean, how does this all tie in? How significant could this be?
Well, right now, I don't believe we'll get to see this letter because I believe it's part of this classified 15-6 investigation. The Army is keeping that very close hold, so they're not planning to release any of that information at this point. So the best we have right now are what his unit members are saying. They had to sign those non-disclosure agreements because, remember, when he was being held by the Taliban, the Army was worried that anything that might be said publicly or to the press could endanger Bo's life. Now that he is safely in U.S. hands, that puts the Pentagon into a different position in terms of now having to further investigate these accusations.
Wow, very interesting to hear kind of what we're learning and the stories that are being told over the last 24, 48 hours. Jennifer, great reporting as always. Appreciate it very much.